It's literally a community-centered app. So it started because one of the first homicides of the year was a 17-year-old, and he was killed in the community that I was serving in. And we had 2 government agencies in that neighborhood, over $1 billion in resources. I feel like he should still be here. We realized that it's already a lot of great work being done. It's just that it's not being coordinated and we're not working together. So we could kind of make it stuff kids can fall through the cracks, through the gaps. So she suggested that we should come up with an app, and I thought it was a great idea. So we came together and we started brainstorming and figuring out like what this would look like, who was going to serve. So it was broken down into 3 topics. We came up with a section for youth and a section for adults and a section for healers. Cool. So that way, like, and it'll have like content from people from DC that is doing the work based off of different topics, so they could go in and check out different videos that can help them with whatever they're dealing with day to day. Everybody's not into therapy, so sometimes you got to find different ways to get people to heal.
We also are seeing a lot of organizations, larger organizations that are providing resources that people need, such as grief support groups, have wait lists, and people need resources now. So another big part of this app is being able to instantly connect people to others who are grieving, and resources on how to cope with the losses that neighborhoods are feeling, that schools are feeling, that just even if you're not directly involved in gun violence, that it ripples outward. The effects and the trauma impact everybody in the vicinity. So we want to be sure that they have instant access to resources.
One of the biggest key components that's going to be is an alert that'll be sent out whenever the kids are in danger or they are an incident might have happened. Sometimes it starts in the school, sometimes it starts in the neighborhood and carries into the school. But however, we have enough DIs, safe passage workers, and incredible messages that we can have all hands on deck, and the mediation can happen before it even reaches to gunfire, or the mentors can step in and figure out like what's going on before we get that far.
Another group that is really important to reach are people who are working in the hospitals. We know that gun violence is often going to escalate after someone comes into the hospital with a gunshot wound. So how are their families being connected with resources? Are they being connected to the right people in order to prevent escalation? Our main goal is to elevate and connect what's already happening, not reinvent the wheel. So we want to be sure that grassroots organizations especially have a platform where their voices can be amplified, their messages can be heard, and they can reach an audience that's in need of hearing this and accessing these resources.
With the young adults, we have stuff in there like for bullying. They'll have videos that'll help them around that. We'll have a suicide number in there. Like if they feel like they want to commit suicide, they'll be able to hit the number. The Trigger Project is trying to come up with something for gun violence. So like if they feel like they want to pull the trigger or they need to be safe, then they can call her and they'll have that option to be able to reach out to. And then Hurry's Largest Dreams, they have the Raheem app with the DC Safety Squad. So, they have the whole defunding the police thing, but they're coming out with the DC Safety Squad to say we're not just saying defund the police, but we're actually having people who should be showing up, that are trained, that can show up to these mental health situations, which most of them are.
The healers section is geared toward people who are doing violence interruption, safe passage, and that direct service work. And we know that there's a huge need for self-care. There's a huge need for additional training. A lot of credible messengers are part of the community. They've been through the experience, but they also need training. They also need help navigating trauma-informed services, and the more resources we can put out there, the better they can do, and we want to support the work that they're doing.
Because at first we was going to call it the Heal Mo app, because that's like a slogan we use, but this is a slogan that came about a few people, so he was like, nah. But Kathrine was just throwing a few names out there, and we was like, okay. I think she came up with the healing part, and then I came up with the outlet.
Especially the word, the outlet. We think about like, how do we outlet our energy? Where do we find an outlet for the negative energy? And we're also talking about like, how do you plug into the community? So there's a lot of like levels of that you can use that term with. So. So if anyone would like to get involved or contribute to the app, they can find us at healingoutlet.app.com.